Alleged MS-13 leader extradited from Mexico to the United States. Authorities in Mexico have apprehended and extradited Francisco Javier Roman Bardales, a suspected senior leader of the notorious international criminal gang MS-13, to the United States. His arrest and subsequent extradition mark a significant victory in the ongoing battle against organized crime, particularly transnational gangs that operate across borders and engage in widespread violence, drug trafficking, and extortion. Capture of Roman Bardales. Roman Bardales, who was listed on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list, was taken into custody on Monday while traveling along the Teocelo-Baxtla highway in the Mexican state of Veracruz. His arrest was the result of an extensive operation coordinated by multiple agencies, including Mexico's Defense Ministry, Navy, Office of the Attorney General, National Guard, and the Secretariat of Security and Civilian Protection. According to Mexican officials, Roman Bardales was informed of the charges against him at the time of his capture. Authorities ensured that his legal rights were upheld before transferring him to Mexico City. There he was handed over to United States officials and subsequently extradited to face charges in the United States. FBI Director Kash Patel publicly acknowledged the efforts of Mexican authorities in facilitating the arrest and deportation of Roman Bardales. In a statement posted on social media platform X, Patel called the operation a major victory for law enforcement and a step toward enhancing public safety in the United States. As of Tuesday morning, Roman Bardales was reported to be in transit within the United States, where he will stand trial for a series of serious crimes. Roman Bardales' extradition comes in the wake of intensified cooperation between the United States and Mexico in combating organized crime. Just weeks prior, Mexico had turned over 29 high-profile cartel figures to the United States, marking one of the largest handovers in recent years. Among those extradited was Rafael Caro Quintero, a powerful cartel leader implicated in the 1985 murder of a United States Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) agent. Caro Quintero has been described by the White House as one of the most evil cartel leaders in the world. Additionally, the United States government has been cracking down on criminal organizations operating within its borders. Over the past weekend, the Trump administration deported 23 MS-13 members, including 2 individuals believed to be ringleaders, to El Salvador. This action was part of a broader effort to dismantle criminal networks and deter illegal activities linked to these gangs. The administration has also deported hundreds of Venezuelan immigrants, a move that has raised legal concerns and been seen as defying court orders. Authorities had been tracking Roman Bardales for an extended period before his capture. Intelligence operations identified his presence in the Baxtla region, a small town in the municipality of Teocelo, Veracruz. Security teams were strategically deployed to monitor his movements, employing a combination of fixed, mobile, and discreet surveillance tactics. Roman Bardales, a Salvadoran national, is known within criminal circles by the alias El Veterano de Tribus, which translates to the Veteran of Tribes. He is accused of playing a central role in directing MS-13's operations across multiple countries, including the United States, Mexico, and El Salvador. The FBI had previously announced a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to his arrest. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Roman Bardales faces a series of charges, including conspiracy to provide and conceal material support and resources to terrorists, narco-terrorism conspiracy, racketeering conspiracy, and alien smuggling conspiracy. These charges stem from his alleged involvement in orchestrating violent acts against civilians and rival gang members, as well as his role in MS-13's drug distribution and extortion schemes. The Eastern District of New York had issued a federal arrest warrant for him in 2022, underscoring the severity of his crimes. The dangers of MS-13. MS-13, or Mara Salvatrucha, is one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world. Originally formed in Los Angeles in the 1980s by Salvadoran immigrants fleeing civil war, the gang quickly expanded its influence beyond U.S. borders. As deported members returned to Central America, Mississippi, 13 established a stronghold in El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico. In February, the U.S. Department of State designated MS-13 as a foreign terrorist organization, alongside 7 other Latin American criminal groups. According to officials Mississippi, 13's tactics have increasingly mirrored those of terrorist organizations, utilizing intimidation, public displays of violence, and targeted assassinations to control territory and influence elections in El Salvador. The gang has also carried out a series of brutal attacks, including the use of improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, and drones against government officials and facilities in El Salvador. MS-13's notorious reputation is built on its extreme violence, including machete attacks, beheadings, and indiscriminate killings of civilians who refuse to comply with their demands. In the United States, Mississippi, 13 has been linked to a string of high-profile murders, drug trafficking operations, and human trafficking rings. The gang's strongholds include major metropolitan areas, such as New York, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C., where law enforcement agencies have been working tirelessly to curb their influence. The arrest of Roman Bardales is expected to disrupt MS-13's chain of command and weaken its operational structure, at least temporarily. However, experts caution that criminal organizations like MS-13 are resilient and capable of adapting to leadership losses. Law enforcement agencies must remain vigilant to prevent the emergence of new leaders who may attempt to fill the power vacuum left by Roman Bardales. Furthermore, this extradition underscores the importance of continued collaboration between the United States and Mexico in tackling transnational crime. By strengthening intelligence sharing, border security measures, and joint operations, both nations can work toward dismantling these dangerous networks. Francisco Javier Roman Bardales' capture and extradition to the United States represent a major victory in the fight against organized crime. As a senior leader of MS-13, his arrest sends a strong message to criminal organizations